In Thyria, you play as a woman named, well, Thyria, a summoner of sorts that harnesses the power of guardians to explore dreams, nightmares, to relieve the curses placed upon villagers. Right now I'm playing build version 0.6, and this video is intended to offer advice based on my experience and mine alone. But the question remains, did it start well? Well, the game claims to be working on its next act, Act 2, and that when it is done as well as other content, it'll then be in the 1.0 version. So I'm going to judge the base tutorial as if it is finished, since it, as well as Act 1, should be, especially since the tutorial is arguably the most important parts of games that have them. The first thing you do whenever you start the game is learn about guardians. In order to gain these guardians, you have to summon them by fusing together runes of light and dark, creating a balance between the two. Using 100 dust, you're able to create those gems, boosting the numbers you have to choose from to make a party all of your own. Given the fact that light and dark have to be balanced here, it is easy to assume that it is going to be important to balance contrasting things throughout the game. But I guess we'll see. Once you speak to the villagers, you can access a grimoire to see the level of the encounter and plan cautiously when deciding who to help and when to do it. After making that decision, you use a mirror of dreams to cross from one realm to the next. Here you choose the formation of your team, with a sad limit of 3 that does feel a bit restrictive given the tiles you're given to work with. Once you use your units, you'll become more accustomed to where to place them to balance the strengths of each. Once you're inside the dream, you learn that Thyria is out for revenge, and this is her first step to being there. Pressing H brings up the cube, directing you on where to go, but not how to do it, causing me to lose what seems like a ton of mana just trying to figure out the controls on how to walk. It's right-clicking, by the way. Once you get moving, you come across a haunted spirit that you press F to throw a fireball at, defeating the foe. After walking around a bit, I went into an old village, where the spirits there meant no harm. I got to choose between a mirror and a card, with the mirror preventing me from picking up any other items during my run within this dream, and the card multiplying my experience if I have 3 at the end of it. I chose the card as to not limit my inventory first thing. I then stumble onto a village where trades are occurring. There's 2 items, a lucky iron that seeks to do nothing based on no knowledge of trinkets, weight, or items being bestowed upon us. More that the tutorial is failing to explain. Second is a belt, riveting, that deals 5% maximum health to all guardians. That wording makes it sound like they'll take 5% of damage, and again I see no real reason to agree with this trade-off. I get plus 4 XP with the belt, sure, but I'm unaware if that's only once or if it's after every XP gaining action. No reason to waste 3 hours of in-game time trying to find out, especially since I'm unaware if I even have an equipment at this time to trade, and am unable to check while on this screen. After taking a few more steps, the cube begins to shake, and I enter battle with the demons of the nightmare. Unlike the spirits, my guardians have to fight these demons. Here in the tutorial, we are told we can use skills to defeat the demons, but they put an overwhelming number of pointer hands up all at once, telling you to click all over the dad blame screen without any specificity, which could have been avoided by numbering the pointers or providing an explanation for each. Thankfully, regardless of the anxiety given with the poor balance of showing and telling, it's practically your average turn-based combat with no real change to the formula. No real change yet, anyway. We are then told that we can also move a guardian, skip his turn, or make him act at the end of a turn. This is something else that we have to figure out on our own how to do though, which is a good example of the poor balance I brought up earlier. Let me explain. Before, they showed us everything at once, with no real explanation of anything or order in which to do it. Here, they showed us nothing, but told us what to do. Not specific, of course, which is the main issue with the tutorial at this stage. When we started the game, they did a good job directing you on where to go, then we made it here and it feels half-baked. After doing an attack and switching my guys out, I learned that there are different versions of skills based upon day and night times respectively. Time passing during the battle, apparently a lot of time, since day turns to night and vice versa, does add a new twist on the formula, switches things up and causes you to think a couple steps ahead. After this battle though, I went to the end of the map, finished the quest, and got to a screen too big for me to be able to complete the place and froze my game. I get back onto the game, I mess with the settings a bit, trying to find a way to get past the screen, and guess what? The same thing happens yet again. I am now stuck. So, given that I can't go any farther, and right now their focus is on Act 2 and other content afterwards, I have literally nothing else I can say for this video regarding whether or not it started well. So did it start well? No, not really. They don't do a very good job with a tutorial, the main basis of the game. The game itself is supposed to be challenging, I completely understand that, and the difficulty can be an extremely hard one if that's the route they're going. Good for them, but they shouldn't half-bake a tutorial. If they don't want to give us one, then don't give us anything. Instead, we have this confusing mix of not being shown enough and being shown too much that just drags the whole experience down altogether. Souls-like games have no tutorial at all. You figure everything out on your own, but you know that you have to. Here, it's like giving you hope and then pulling it away. It's like that advertisement with the guy with the fishing rod and the dollar hanging from it going, ooh, you gotta be faster than that. And it doesn't have a good feel to it. It doesn't have a good flow, and it's not a very good first impression. The combat of the game, I did enjoy it for what it was. I didn't get to go very in depth given the fact that I got one turn-based battle, but it's a fairly decent system, and I like where they could evolve from this given the day and night system. When you're walking around and those spirits come at you, they come out of nowhere and it's far too fast. Whenever more than one comes at you, it can be overwhelming, especially since they blend into the background far too well, making it aggravating at points. That one's just more of a nitpick for myself, especially since I have a migraine that could play into it a little bit. I'm not gonna sit over here and act like it wouldn't, but I felt like it was important to bring up as well. Thyria as a character is honestly pretty interesting. Her entire freaking arm is on fire, and that's something that we have to look forward to figuring out why. She's looking for revenge, something happened to her mother, what happened, who knows, that's something we can find out. It does give some semblance of urgency to her character. We want to figure out what happened to her and why she's working the job she's working, who her mother was, the power her mother had, what could have happened, and why it could have happened. The idea of helping villagers through their dreams is one that I really like, especially as someone who has studied psychology, sociology, behavioral psychology. You get the idea. This is something that does intrigue me, and I really wish that it could have gone farther, but I have absolutely no idea what to do from here. So if you developed this game, play tested this game, and have any advice whatsoever on how I can get past this, let me know. I would love to give this game a second chance, but I've tried this out like 13 times, different settings, different window sizes, everything that I could possibly do to try and move on. There's just nothing I can figure out. I've literally went through and hit every single key on my keyboard. I've switched a controller, which it doesn't have support for, and hit every dab blame button on it. I really want to move on. It would be great. Because I like what is being set up, and I would love to give it a fair shake. As of right now, that's all I can say. I would love to revisit this in the future. Please help me revisit this in the future. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me the key, and I'm sorry I couldn't do more. For more news, reviews, and whatever we choose, stay tuned to Nerdsfeed. Have a great day. Thank you.